Okay, so this video is to help you study for your first test of the fifth 6 weeks or second 6 weeks for first semester material. So we're going to do problem 1 on your review. So problem 1 says the following equation defines a function of f of x, and it says that f of x equals 2x minus 8. It then says if the ordered pair 3b is part of the function or in the function, what is the value of b? Well, here's what we need to remember. 3 is the x thing, and this right here is my rule. So I need to plug 3 in to find b. So what you're going to do is, you're going to do f of something equals 2 times something minus 8. That something you're going to plug in is a 3, and if you plug a 3 in there, you have to plug a 3 in there. So this piece right here is 6 minus 8. So f of 3 is going to equal 6 minus 8, which is negative 2. This negative 2 is the b value right there, because when we plugged in our 3, we got the output for b, and that was b equals negative 2. So that is the answer to number 1. Number 2 on your review says that student council is selling chocolate bars for a fundraiser. Each chocolate bar sold earns the council $2.25. What is the domain and range of this function? So let's just make a list. Domain, range. Well, what is the domain? Domain is the number of chocolate bars sold, and the range is going to be the amount of money that we earn. So let's look at this. For domain, I can sell 0 chocolate bars, or 1 chocolate bar, or 2 chocolate bars, or 3, or 4, and so on. So this right here is my domain. We just can't sell negative chocolate bars or decimal chocolate bars. We can't sell half a chocolate bar or 1.5 chocolate bars. It's got to be a discrete whole number. For the range is dependent upon what we plug in. So if I sell no chocolate bars, I'm going to make no profit. And then if I sell 1 chocolate bar, I would make $2.25. And if I were to sell 2 chocolate bars, I would make $4.50. And if I were to sell 3 chocolate bars, you'd make $6.25. And that's going to keep going and be dependent upon how many chocolate bars you would sell. So this is the range. So number 3 sounds a little bit tricky, but really it's not at all. So number 3 says that if we have f of b equals 12, they want us to find the value of 5 times f of b. Well, we know right here that f of b is 12, so let's read what we have. I have 5 times just 12, because f of b is 12, and so instead of writing f of b, I'm going to write 12. And so 5 times 12 is just 60, and that's the answer to number 3. Number 4 says that you have a function called h of x, and it is equal to 2x minus 1 over 3, and it wants you to find the value of h of negative 1. So again, remember this is the x, so we're going to plug that x in. So I'm going to have h equals 2 times something minus 1 over 3. And that something I'm going to plug in is this value right here. So I'm going to plug in a negative 1 and plug in a negative 1. And now I'm just going to simplify what I have. We're going to have h of negative 1 equals, this piece right here is going to be a negative 2 minus the 1 over 3. Negative 2 minus 1 more is going to get me a negative 3 over 3, which is really just negative 1. So if we were to write our final answer, h of negative 1 equals negative 1 in this case. So the answers are negative 1 right there. Okay, number 5 is a word problem or a story problem. And it says, the charge to rent a car is $25.50 per day. So I'm going to put 25.50 times D for the number of days, plus it's 28 cents per mile. So D equals days, and M equals my miles that I drove. It says, what is the maximum number of miles that he can drive without exceeding his budget? And his budget is his budget is $275. So I have $275 as my total budget. And it also says that he's going to drive the car for 2 days. So I have 25.50 times my 2 days plus 0.28 times M, my number of miles. That's what I'm solving for. So we're going to finish solving this problem. So in your calculator, you're going to do 25.5 times 2. Okay, so we're going to solve this, and when you multiply these two numbers together, you're going to get 51, and this still equals 275, plus we have the 0.28 or 28 cents per mile. You're going to minus 51 from both sides. 275 minus 51 is going to get you 224. It's going to equal 0.28 times M. We're going to divide both sides by 0.28. And you should get that M equals 800. So we can go a total of 800 miles. Number 6, we're going to solve the proportion. So number 6 says that I have negative 3x minus 3 over 5. Over 2 equals my 5x plus 4 over negative 4. So we're going to cross multiply or use what you guys call the butterfly method, and we're going to multiply across the equation like this. So we're going to get that you're going to get positive 12x, because a negative 4 times a negative 3 makes a positive 12x plus 12. It's going to equal 10x plus 8. And we're going to solve by subtracting the 10x. Subtracting the 10x. These cancel out. 2x plus 12 equals 8. Minus the 12 from both sides. Those cancel out, and you get 2x equals negative 4. So I have 2x equals negative 4. X and 2 are multiplying, so to undo that we divide. And so when we're done, x equals negative 2. Okay, so if we look at number 7, we're going to look at the domain first, and the domain is the side-to-side movement, or the x's. So what I just drew would be like we did on our foldable. And so I go from my negative 5 right here all the way to 4. So if I wanted to write the domain, I'm going to start at negative 5, but I don't equal it because my circle's open, so it's negative 5 is just less than x, and x has to be less than or equal to 4, and there's an equal to sign because this dot right here was closed. Now if we do our range is up and down, so we're going to do the up and down. So I start down here at negative 2, and I go up here to 3. So my range starts at negative 2, and again, this circle right here is open, so it's just going to be less than y, and then less than or equal to 3. Okay, so for number 8, we're looking at this relation. Everything in math is pretty much a relation, and it says, is this relation a function? Well, to be a function, x cannot repeat. So right here I have negative 4, and then I have 0, and then I have 4. So since all of my x's are different and none of them repeat, then yes, this is a function. And you would say something like, because the x values, or also we call those sometimes inputs, do not, that's the key part, repeat. If they repeated, it would not be a function. Okay, so the last problem on the first page, number 9, says that I have $5 and I want to buy some stamps. So this is what I have. And that each stamp is 46 cents. And it wants to know what the domain is. Well, domain are the x values. So let's think about what we could plug in. So I have $5 and each stamp is 46 cents times x. So x is the number of stamps I want to get. So I can't get or buy negative stamps. So we don't want to do negatives. But I could buy no stamps. So in my domain I could have 0. And I could plug in 1 stamp or 2 stamps or 3 stamps, but we can't plug in like 2.5 because, or 2.5 because we can't buy half a stamp. So let's figure out how many stamps we could buy total. So to do that, we're going to divide both sides by 0.46. So when you divide 5 by 0.46 or 46 cents, you get that x is about 10.9 or so. But you can't buy 0.9 of a stamp. So the most we could buy right here is 10 stamps. So that means that my domain is, I can buy 0 stamps or 1 or 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can buy 9, and I can even buy 10, but I do not have enough money for number 11, so at the most I can buy is 10 stamps, and that is my domain.